Hey guys, let's get more news about Lakers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Austin Reaves likes post on Instagram throwing shade at Darvin Ham not drawing up plays. Darvin Ham didn't see a happy ending to his stint as Lakers head coach, being ousted after 2 seasons in charge as the team made the playoffs both years as the number 7 seed. Ham was criticized heavily for his lack of play calling by fans, a pattern proven by him not drawing up plays out of timeouts. Lakers guard Austin Reaves liked a meme on social media mocking Ham for once writing "contest" without fouling on the clipboard instead of drawing up a play. One of the biggest criticisms against Ham from fans all season had been his lack of play calling, letting LeBron James, Reaves, or D'Angelo Russell run a freelance offense. The high caliber of the players did create success, but a championship team cannot be built on those principles. Anthony Davis verbalized the complaints against Ham's tactical nuance after the Lakers lost Game 2 to the Nuggets, blowing a 20-point lead in the process. "We have stretches where we just don't know what we're doing on both ends of the floor, and those the ones that cost us." It was later confirmed that Davis saying this out loud spelled doom for Ham, with Davis's inputs being among the primary reasons for Ham's firing. "When they chose to fire Darvin Ham, I was told that one of the many considerations was that it was pretty evident that AD was not on board anymore with Darvin, and they know, like everybody else, that AD has a history of having asked for trades in the past. That's how he got to the Lakers from New Orleans. The last thing they wanted was for AD to be frustrated with the situation. Once the players believe the coach isn't tactically sound, there's no coming back from that. Hopefully, the next Lakers coach has a penchant for running plays to organize this team." It's been heavily rumored that the Lakers are about to sign JJ Redick as their new head coach, with the 15-year veteran having no coaching experience. His relationship with LeBron James is considered to be one of the factors in his contention for the role, leading most to believe James is trying to plant his podcast co-host in the role. Brian Windhorst reported a few weeks ago that James was keeping his input out of the Lakers coaching search, a sentiment backed by Shams Charania today. "Yeah, I'm told LeBron James is not involved in the Lakers head coaching search. LeBron James made it clear, this is the organization's decision. He's had no conversations with the Lakers about JJ Redick, his podcast partner. He's had no conversation with JJ about that position as well. The bottom line with LeBron James is this. If he was making the decisions for the Lakers, Ty Lue would have been the head coach in 2019. Kyrie Irving would be his point guard if he was running the team if he was making the decisions. The Lakers might be better off getting Davis's input in this situation, as the star center will enter the first year of his new Supermax extension with the Lakers soon. James is a free agent and could leave the franchise as soon as this summer, so appeasing Davis with the coaching hire might be a bigger long-term priority." Pacific notes: LeBron, Lakers, Jackson Davis, Beal. The idea that LeBron James will be a driving force in choosing the Lakers' next head coach is inaccurate, according to Shams Charania of The Athletic, who said during an appearance on FanDuel's Run It Back show on Monday that the star forward has had no involvement in the process so far. Twitter video link. "I'm told LeBron James is not involved in the Lakers' head coaching search," Charania said. "He has made it clear this is the organization's decision. He's had no conversations with the Laker about JJ Redick, his podcast partner. He's had no conversations with JJ about that position as well. I did speak to James' agent, Rich Paul, this morning. He said, LeBron James and JJ Redick, they do a podcast together. That does not mean that he wants JJ Redick as his head coach. He's leaving it up to the organization." Previous reports have indicated that the Lakers will more heavily weigh Anthony Davis's future and input as they decide on a new head coach, since the expectation is that Davis's time in Los Angeles will extend beyond that of James, who will turn 40 later this year. Charania reiterated that point during his Run It Back segment, noting that Davis has built a rapport with James Borrego. While Charania cites Davis and Borrego overlapping during their stints with the Pelicans, it's worth noting that Borrego left New Orleans for Orlando during the 2012 offseason, which is when Davis was drafted, so any overlap was very brief. Borrego returned to the Pelicans in 2023 as an assistant on Willie Green's staff. Here's more from around the Pacific. In a column for the Los Angeles Times, Bill Plaschke makes it clear he's not a fan of the idea of the Lakers hiring Redick, writing that it would not only be one of the oddest Lakers coaching hires in a long list of them, but it might also be the first talk show-driven head coaching hire in NBA history. Warriors guard Brandon Podziemski, who was named to the All-Rookie First Team on Monday, believes his teammate Tracy Jackson-Davis should have joined him in receiving All-Rookie recognition, writes Dalton Johnson of NBC Sports Bay Area. Jackson-Davis narrowly missed earning a spot on the second team, finishing 11th among vote-getters, a single point behind Grizzlies forward G.G. Jackson. Just to see from a guard's perspective, Jackson-Davis, impact on our games and how he helped us win games this year, I think maybe the voters should take winning into more of an account, Podziemski said. It sucks to see him not make it. I think he was well deserving of it. Could Bradley Beal thrive in a point guard role the same way that Drew Holiday did under new Suns head coach Mike Budenholzer in Milwaukee? Dwayne Rankin of the Arizona Republic weighs that question, considering just how important it is for Phoenix to add a true point guard this offseason. Are the Lakers closing in on J.J. Redick as their next coach? When word first emerged that the Los Angeles Lakers were considering Duke legend J.J. Redick as their next coach, it seemed an unlikely possibility. No one questions Redick's basketball intelligence. He built a solid and considerable NBA career and overcame a lot of disdain from fans and others who hated him largely because he was a cartoonish Duke villain. He drew a lot of praise for his podcasting career too, where he has been imaginative, decisive and insightful. But he's never coached, and for some people, that's an issue. In fact, some people think the only reason he's even being considered is because he co-hosts a podcast with LA star LeBron James, which doesn't make much sense, and also because they are friends, which makes more sense. James is pushing 40 but he's still a highly effective basketball player, and you could make an argument that keeping him happy is a major concern for the Lakers, particularly if another team picks his son Bronny in the upcoming draft and James decides to finish his career playing with his eldest son and said team, which apparently his contract would allow him to do. It's fair to ask questions about Redick's coaching chops because, after all, he's never coached. It's fair to wonder if his hire would cause locker room issues due to his relationship with James. At the same time, you have to put those concerns aside and ask yourself, would he actually be a good coach? And while it's one of those things you can't know until you do, you can certainly say this: Redick is keenly intelligent, highly competitive and has vast NBA experience to draw on. No one who pays much attention to Redick questions his basic intelligence. He easily built his podcast career into something truly significant and parlayed that into an ESPN gig. In his podcasts and on ESPN, he has shown that he understands the game. He also understands how to stir things up, which might or might not be useful in coaching. See his comments about plumbers and Bob Cousy, or about Larry Bird for examples. He also had 4 years at Duke under Mike Krzyzewski, where he was exposed to not just superb coaching and communication skills, but also various aspects of team building, sports psychology, and business management principles. Could he pull it off? Could he overcome the skeptics and the possible poor locker room dynamics? Well, yes. He would have a learning curve, but Redick has the potential to be an outstanding coach. His bigger problem is that James is near the end of his career and there isn't much talent in the pipeline. The plan is to build the team around Anthony Davis, but Davis has had a poor injury history and at 31, he's not all that young either. That's a lot younger than James, but James hasn't struggled with injuries the way Davis has. The thing about Redick though is that he's always been underestimated. People see his confidence and mistake it for cockiness. they overlook the intense desire to compete and the willingness to work harder than anyone else. We saw it at Duke, when he made the leap from a great shooter to a great basketball player. We saw it in the NBA too, when he went from a marginal player to a guy who was in high demand. Combine intelligence with an insane work ethic and you get Redick. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of JJ Redick? Leave your opinion in the comments.